know what's wrong with the elevator now.
Oh, just stuff that got wet here the other.
Up in the basement or up in the seal in the basement again?
The basement again.
I told them to fix that sump pump.
They put a new one in now.
Okay, but it's not the pump, it's the pipe.
Yeah.
I told them that. I used to do all this for a living. And I told them, I said, that pump cannot handle all those curves and everything, right? It has to be, you know those tubes of pipes that are flexible, the black ones? Right, that's what you're supposed to put on a sump pump. No fittings, no nothing, and you just heat up the end, push it on, and when it cools off, it bonds. But anyway, so they're fixing the elevator again.
Replacing stuff that gets wet.
You know, they can't fix anything properly in this building. Not you guys. It's the management doesn't get it done when it needs to be done. Doesn't do the right things. Look, guys, I'm not kidding you. You go on YouTube. You type into YouTube into the search engine, the Welsford Apartments Nightmare. Okay, and you will see all the videos I've done in the last 2 years. I'm stuck in this building because this is the only building that's wheelchair accessible. That's near the grocery store. I can't even move to a house. I got the money to buy a house. I can't get there. And all the buses in Halifax, all the new ones, don't have any tie downs to hold my chair. They got the ramp, but there's no tie downs in the bus. They're doing that with all the buses. So I fought for my rights. Nobody listens, and now I have no public transportation. Accessible bus won't come to this building because. No, they won't come to this building because the back entrance, the lobby area where I'm supposed to sit isn't heated, and there's no window where I can see, and there's no place for the bus to stop because the road's always blocked. So anyway, they refuse me service, so I have no no transportation whatsoever. None. And I get stuck in this building 6 months of the year. I can't go out. All right? So you go look at the Welsford series that I've done. Like these elevators here, a lot of people have been getting stuck in them. Not so much recently, but I've been stuck in them. One guy was in there all night long on a weekend. The phone inside there, the emergency phone, didn't work for 2.5 years. None of them worked. And the guy was stuck in the elevator. He had a little personal alarm. He didn't have his cell phone, and he kept ringing it every half hour. And it took people 12 hours to figure out there's someone stuck in the elevator. So that guy was like out of his mind. I mean, I got stuck. A lot of people have been stuck in the elevators, but that's not so bad now. The only thing they need to fix on these elevators, for me, for safety-wise, is that if I'm trying to get into the elevator, and if I don't time it perfectly, I can't get in the elevator. Because that button right there, if I push it, the door won't open. So people, when they try to help me, I tell them, don't hold the button because you can't hold the door open for me.
Okay.
So I go to back in, and the door hits my chair. So I've asked them, I said, can you fix that button so when people push the button, the door opens? Like you do in all other buildings that I've ever been in. So in here, that's a major problem for me. So I have to always time it, and I have to run, I have to, it's a nightmare getting in the elevator. Because if I don't time it perfectly, I have to hit the door with my chair. I literally have to run into the door to get it to stop from... Yeah, I have to. Yeah. But the thing is, I don't like having to run into the elevator to stop the door. It's either that or I don't get in because the elevator will sit there, the door will close back up, I won't be in the elevator. I push the button, the door won't open. The elevator will leave, go somewhere else in the building, come back, and then it'll open. So even when it closes, I can't get it to reopen. So I get stranded in here. I've had people upstairs where I moved to near the top of the building for a reason, so the elevator is usually empty. But if I get into the elevator, people have gotten out for me so I can get in, so they get out, and they don't understand it, and turn my way, and I can't time it. So the door starts closing, they push the button, they think it's going to work. I said, no. So we all get stranded on the floor, and the elevator leaves. Yeah, so what's that? Well, they keep giving me excuses, telling me it can't be. They don't want to spend any money on anything. And the only reason why the elevators even work, the nightmare in here doesn't end. This lobby here last year, right, it flooded out. It took them 6 months to fix all the damage. The whole floor was flooded. All the roofs in the building leak, all of them. The underground garage is always underwater. It's always soaking wet. There's a membrane all around the outside of the grass. It's all full of holes. So they don't want to replace it. So the whole underground garage is always stinking wet and dirty. The garbage is always all over the ground. Last winter, they didn't clear the ramp for the snow, so the garbage truck couldn't pick up the garbage. Man, this place is a nightmare. Go on YouTube, okay? And I told all the tenants that people keep moving out of here. The place has got electric heat. The windows are not insulated. Right? There's no seals in the windows, and the building, the outside walls have no insulation. And guess what else? Your heaters are only on the outside wall. The whole inside of the apartment, the hallways and everything, like right now, there's no heat upstairs, right? So I had to put curtains all around my doorways to cut and only heat 2 rooms because I had to run. My electric bills are like they're like $300 to $700 a month. This place is a living nightmare, guys. They got 220 watt, 240 volt heaters in here, and they're like 60 years old. And in the old days, the type of thermostats they used were like on a stove, where the more you turned it, the hotter it got. That's the kind of thermostats you're supposed to have on there, but the idiots that modernized, so they thought. So they put thermostats in for hot air furnaces. So now what you get when you use their heaters, you either roast 110 degrees before it cools off, or you freeze. So everyone in the building cannot use the heaters that are built in. They have to buy their own heaters. And guess what? There's only 6 plugs in the whole apartment. And it's all aluminum wiring. This place is just a time bomb ready, you know, it's going to kill people pretty soon. And the underground garages that I told them, I said, how long do you think the steel superstructure inside that concrete's going to last when the concrete's wet all the time? You should see this building move in the wind, guy. Man, I did a video one day upstairs. I had visitors and they've never come back. They were leaning against the wall and the whole wall pushed them, eh? And I said, yeah, the whole building is, and all the wall, if you go upstairs, all the floors are all crooked. And I did photos and I figured it out. The center of the building where the elevator shafts are almost 6 inches higher than the outside walls. The building is collapsing on the outside, for real. So all the walls are crooked in here. You put furniture down on the floor in your apartment, from the wall out to about, I don't know, 2 feet or less, there's as much as 3 or 4 inches difference in height. That's how crooked the floors are in here. You look at all the doors upstairs, okay, they've got huge gaps in them. They're all like, man, this place is unbelievable. They keep it cosmetically looking nice, but it's got some major problems coming. And I wish I didn't have to live here. I wish I didn't have to live here, let me tell you. Well, this company here goes around all over North America. They buy older buildings that were drained of all its resources, and they weren't maintained. So they buy them, and they get a loan that also includes the cosmetic makeup to make the building look pleasant. So they finance the whole building, and they have no money left over for anything. So repairs and do maintenance that every property needs, these guys don't have the money for it. It's not in there. It's not the way their budgets are, right? Anyway, the nightmare doesn't end with this place. Take care, guys. See ya. I think I got spoiled living in other cities in Canada where all the building codes are really good and so the elevator's gone again. I should go to the basement and show you guys why the garage keeps flooding the elevator shaft. Anyway, I already explained it. I already did a video earlier. You can go to wheelchairrights.wordpress.com to see the rest of the series of videos that I've done of this property. Thank you for watching. And this is the Welsford Apartments Nightmare.